in my head like a million times, and it was something like a thought that I would have just ran past in my visual cortex. And I remember I was bawling, I was crying, and I was praying, because I did. It wasn't because of what they were doing at that point, but I was like, okay, their foot's in the door on this, and there's a stoplight right when I roll up to it. But I started bawling and praying, and I was just praying the Our Father over and over again, because I realized at that point, if they could do that to me, that would get worse, because they'll take something and then they'll run it into the ground. They'll ramp it up so bad that it's like now they'll push things into my visual cortex all the time. If I'm watching a movie, or if I'm in a family gathering, it's just like they're trying to, basically wipe away my, like, what I would create my visual cortex, the things that are coming out, trying to wipe that out and cover it up with what they want to put on there. William the Bastard talked about that a lot. I just found it so interesting, because a lot of the stuff he talked about, I was like, this guy is talking total nutso. He's a total nut. Like, I mean, he's being hit by something, but he thinks that they can, like, push in thoughts with microwaves. I remember, and I know that a lot of y'all right now are listening to me going, this guy thinks that they can push in frequencies that come out as visuals in your visual cortex. But I listened to him, and it was like, I love listening to him for some reason. And I went back and I listened to him, and like a lot of the stuff he was saying is a lot of the stuff that I'm going through now. And it's very weird that I was attracted to that. Like, he was telling the truth, but I didn't know he was telling the truth. And he was saying a lot of phrases, like a lot of terms he makes up himself. Like he'll say like light pulses instead of directed energy. So you've got to like really, and there's a one light white car right there. But a lot of things he says, he makes up words for himself, which, I mean, this stuff is, it is kind of confusing, so you end up doing that. But a lot of the stuff he says, was a Georgia license plate. But at SJA, so, but it was just so interesting, guys, like, because, like I watch those videos, and there's a taxi cab behind me, if you can see it, taxi cab with its high beams on, so I guess they are, they're keeping the vehicular stalking going, but it'll get, like, worse than this. Like, they have a lot of vehicular stalking around me now, but they will swarm, man, when I start videotaping, like, every day. It's so interesting, dude. But that, I mean, it kills me. I mean, it doesn't kill me. It's like I didn't know what he was talking about, because I hadn't experienced the things that he was talking about, and I just like happened to go back and watch those, and I'm gonna watch every video that he shows, because he gets nailed in the jaws like me too. I don't hear that from a lot of TIs on the conference calls. I don't hear that I hear they get hit in the head and stuff like that, and I guess they that means the whole head, but they really go for my left temple, my left jaw. It's a weak area on my body. I've had problems with my occipital nerve on that left side, so they really go for that, because they know, that's a kind of a point of pain, and they like hiding this stuff within stuff where if I tell my parents, hey, they're hitting me in the left side of the jaw. Like, I almost had a trigeminal, nerve operation, and my parents knew about that. So my parents will funnel it into something, like, oh, that's your jaw. We should have gotten an operation on that, and, it's gotten worse. They love doing that kind of stuff. They're cowards to the max. They're like an infinite cowards. They see it as covert. They would say, like, it's really being covert, and we're hiding all this stuff, and but it's really cowardice and evil. It's like real big cowardice and evil. But I don't know. It got me. I guess that's what I want to make this video about, because I've gone ahead and done it. That is awesome. If you listen to TIs and you don't understand what they're talking about, but you come back to it, like, because this stuff escalates. These people are not gonna, like, I mean, I've heard about some people getting off the list. There are extenuating circumstances, but for the general majority of targeted individuals, we're not getting out of this. They're escalating it. They will keep escalating it because they're unaccountable. They have no oversight, or they have oversight by corrupt people, and they're going to keep escalating it on you. So they're going to keep trying to test out the limitations of this technology and what it can do. Just like when I went to West Virginia, you know, this guy really tried to hit me in the chest on the plane. He tried to see how far it could go when I was driving through the mountains of, North Carolina, Virginia, Raleigh, Virginia to Green Bank. But no, I mean, just like, the thing is, like, we do need to speak out, and if you hear something that a TI, and like, this is something that I'm very, I don't know which way to go on this, because I do not want to frighten TIs. I don't want to do that, especially new TIs. You know, if you're not getting hit that hard, you know, go ahead, enjoy your life. Speak out about it a little bit, enjoy your life. But in the majority, the general cases, the majority of cases, it's gonna escalate. They're gonna want to use this technology in the biggest extent they can. That's what they've done with me. That's what I've seen with other target individuals. When I was listening to William the Bastard, he was talking about active remote neural monitoring, and basically, you know, like forcing, conditioning thoughts and conditioning his thoughts while he slept and stuff like that with electromagnetic frequencies. I didn't know what he was talking about, but I knew he was because the way he talks, he was just like, okay, guys, like, you know, and everybody else in the world thought he was crazy, probably non-TIs, but he just talks about it. He's like, okay, this is what's going on. He makes up some words and stuff like that, but he's right on the money about, like, the type of stuff. He somehow knew what his body does. He knew his body. You know, so he knew when they were doing, and he knew his way of thinking, so he knew when he was having external attacks. And it's just like, I was drawn to that, not understanding the extent. I was like, man, this is crazy. This guy's talking about, and there's another trailer right there with the tractor on it. But I was like, you know, I don't know what he's talking about. I haven't experienced any of this stuff. Going back to it now, I'm like, I know exactly what he's talking about. I've had a lot of that stuff happening to me, but I do want to walk that line. I don't want anybody to panic about this stuff. There are ways to adapt to even the most deceitful, weird stuff that they have going on. So don't worry. But the thing is, that's why I'm really a huge proponent of speak out now. Like, you need to speak out now, because the chances of this, the probability of it just going away if you don't do anything, that's like 3%. I mean, it's like 5. There is really no percent in some cases. There are weird extenuating circumstances. But most of us, like, we don't do anything. They're false flagging us. So they're trying to hurt you as bad as they can so that you'll have a reaction. You'll yell at somebody or something like that. And I've seen very, very smart TIs. I've seen their videos where people are just getting mail in the mailroom, and they'll yell at them and accuse them of gang stalking. I don't go up to people like I do the vehicular stalking. I may be wrong about some of these cars, but it ain't gonna mess with a normal person if I'm just getting them on videotape with a one light and they're not a stalker. Be careful because that's the type of chaos that this program wants to create. Is people who are being gang stalked, who are going up to normal people who don't know anything about this and making their lives bad. This thing has a lot of facets, so you want to be very careful about that. I would just say that's a main thing. Even if you're sure, that, you know, they're gang stalking or something like that, still be very careful. Maybe get them on film if they're doing, like, you know, hand signals or something like that. But be very careful about confronting people on this, because they're gonna turn it around on you. And you know your situation, so I don't want to give too much advice about that. God, it was just, oh man, that's what this video is going to be called. You know, I don't know what I'm going to call it, but it's going to be something about going back and watching William the Bastard's videos. Like, it's incredible. I had no idea what he was talking about, and that's how you got to think as a target individual. You're going to maybe hear some stuff if you're a new target individual. And hopefully this ends soon enough so that you won't have to experience, you know, a lot of the, I guess, mind directing. I wouldn't say mind control, I'd say thought directing, remote neural monitoring, conditioning of thoughts with electromagnetic frequencies. As you go along, and they have more time with you, you become a better receiver. They have a radio. A metaphor is they have a radio, you're the receiver. As time goes on, you become a better receiver. They learn your unique fingerprint from your EEG and the frequencies that your brain put off. They learn those a lot better. And so they're able to manipulate a lot better with the electromagnetic frequencies. That's why at the beginning you don't know anything about, like, you know, synthetic telepathy or you know, active remote neural monitoring. You know, you get the V2K at the beginning, you get the high-pitched noise, you get the pain. But man, it's amazing. That is amazing. And it amazes me, and it shows me, it increases my faith greatly, because I was drawn to that without even knowing what he was talking about, thinking, this guy thinks that they're, like, putting thoughts in our head. He thinks that they're with the electromagnetic frequencies, that they're actually, you know, pushing phrases or visuals, or, you know, he calls it holography. He uses a lot of terms that he just makes up. But you gotta watch these things, even if people don't know the terms, because we're not. Like, even me, I'm saying terms that other people might say something differently. We've got to start talking about it in whatever way you can, whatever way you can explain it. And I know that, like, that is such a, like, a spiritual synchronicity, that I listen to him. He's the one who started me on these videos, and yet I didn't believe everything he said. But I watch it now, and I mean, a lot of the stuff I still don't, you know, agree with him completely on how it works. But he had a better understanding. He has a good understanding of, you know, how it works, like how the program works, like who works in it, to a point where I'm like, what, you know, I don't think he was involved or anything, but he had some good, what is it? What do you call it? Self-awareness, awareness of what came from him and what did not come from him. And, you know, it's sad. I heard that they put him in jail. His wife ended up getting him in court, and they ended up going through her, you know, to really gang stalk him and get him in jail. Like, I may try and find out where he is and go visit him to be like, hey, you know, you got me to start making videos. You know, you did a great job. Like, you did the right thing. Because I mean, it was, like, kind of towards the beginning when a lot of people weren't putting out videos, and he really, like, I just was so comfortable with the way he spoke about it, and he was very just honest about it all. He's like, you know, whatever, take it, leave it, and it got me making videos. And I know that a lot of you guys, it's like, you know, y'all have inspired me, I've inspired y'all. Like, I mean, so many other people get me to start making videos. Is this lady trying to get me to do something? But alright, guys, I'm going to end it on that. And I will talk to y'all later. I will see y'all on the next one. I love you guys. Stay strong. I might do one in my apartment, show you what's going on, and kind of show you how I'm getting ready to move, what I'm getting ready to do. Love you guys, and I will see you on the next